Another relatively inactive round here from Pechanga.
Watching Austin Trout, despite the fact that he lost to Erislandy, Lara, and Saul Canelo Alvarez, is still an event to a boxing fan like me. Just because he has those two defeats, he still has some upside. But now, after watching him tonight, I'm thinking to myself, where does he go? For example, before I move on, let's talk about the landscape of the 154-pound division. He fought at 156, just a couple of pounds above the 154, but basically he's still going to be pursuing a career at junior middleweight. So you have Floyd Mayweather that has the WBC and the WBA Super World. In line for that WBC is Anthony Mundine and a couple of other fighters, but you got to count him out of that WBA because you got Erislandy Lara, who defeated Austin Trout, who was the WBA World. So basically, if anybody, he would deserve a fight for that WBA regular belt, well, the WBA Super World belt. So when you look at the IBF, that's Cornelius K9 Bundrich. He's got to deal with Anthony Mundine, on the table. Whether he takes it or not, we do not know. But Jamal Charlo, I forgot which one, is already in line to take on Bundrich or Mundine or whoever sometime within the next 6 to 8 months. So then when you look at the WBO, you got to say, Demetrius Andrade, Austin Trout. You see where I'm going with this? I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live and I cover boxing. Austin Trout is good, but man, there's something missing. And that's something that's missing, maybe something that's big that's missing. So looking at right now, he scored his first KO since 2011. But it wasn't a KO. It went to commercial break, if I'm correct, between round 7 and 8. And then after it came back from commercial break, Luis Grajeda, the guy he was fighting, had quit. Luis Grajeda is now 18-4-2. And basically tonight, December the 11th, is the date that the card came on ESPN2. But it's actually December the 12th right now, 12:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now, Antonio Tarver and Jonathan Banks are in the ring. But to stop talking fast and get back to the point I was trying to make is, he defeated a guy who was only landing 2 punches per round. He was defeating a guy that clearly came not to fight against what fans consider to be a soft punching fighter in Austin Trout. So, of course, at the end of the fight, you have Austin Trout thanking Al Heyman because only Al Heyman goes and finds these guys. And I think to myself, well, Austin Trout is now on his second fight on ESPN. Remember, he fought his last 2 on Showtime, so Canelo Alvarez and Erislandy Lara. So, and then after Canelo beat him, Canelo won on a fight, Mayweather. So he's had the fight with Daniel Dawson. He went down twice against Daniel Dawson. Now he's got this fight, and he didn't look particularly good because something about his offense is, for example, his punch is the straight left. But, his punch is a straight left, but he lunges, and he's not a power puncher, and if he does do it, it's just to set up something else. So, he's a pressure fighter, but he doesn't have anything to really stun you and get you in trouble. And if he does get you in trouble, he puts himself at risk. So, I guess what I'm saying is, there's so much that's undefined about him that I have to ask the question, well, how long do you keep him on this rebuilding path? And does he deserve an upgrade to Showtime, boxing or HBO or wherever they're going to be? I don't know. It's a confusing situation, but I'm still a fan. Oh, T Street Controversy Live. Antonio Tarver, he might win. I'll be covering this fight too. I cover every single major fight live. So basically, you'll see this video. Then the next video uploaded after this will be my post-fight results for Antonio Tarver versus Jonathan Banks. And then so on, especially all those fights this weekend, I'm going to cover. So I'm going to cover Khan versus Alexander, Thurman versus Bundu, Charlo versus Bataille, Charlo versus Lozano, Maris versus Ramirez, Yoshihiro Kamagai, Victor Ortiz versus Perez. The Yoshihiro Kamagai and the Babette Shomanov fights, I don't think they're televised either on Showtime Extreme or on regular Showtime, so I'm kind of upset about that. But I'm just wasting time with this video. Commercial break. T Street Controversy. T Street Controversy Live.